Hey adventurers, Joe Bassett here for Valiant Outfitters, another Wilderness Wednesday. I'm hoping to get out in the next day or two, but you can see it's already a bit windy here and we are expecting some pretty rough weather over that time span. So I'm going to demonstrate a variation on the A-frame that I use just to secure myself in a little bit better. I've already run my hammock. And you can see I use my normal setup with the hammocks where I put my straps at about eye level and then I set it so that I can sit in it and my feet just barely touch the ground. That usually gives me the best angle, the best suspension for a good night's sleep in my hammock. I'm also going to use my trusty DD Hammocks 3x3 tarp. I'm going to run my ridgeline, but before I do that, because I know it's going to rain, I'm going to run my ridgeline through the loops along the center line of that tarp. You know, usually I'll just put up a ridgeline and throw my tarp up over it. But when you're going to have rain, if you know there's going to be a lot of rain, it's going to be really wet, you want that ridgeline on the outside of the tarp. Otherwise, you run the risk of that rain getting onto your ridgeline and wicking in underneath and then dripping on you overnight. You can put drip lines on your ridge line, and I'll very often do that regardless of where that ridge line is, whether it's above the tarp or below the tarp, but even those can sometimes fail if there's a lot of water. I'm going to set up my ridge line, and then I'm going to show you my variation on that A-frame. You know, on my ridge line, I've already got those prusik knots set up. Those loops are there so that I can tension using toggles. I have 3 of them. I'm going to mainly use the 2 at either end of the A-frame. If necessary, I can use the center one, but that's usually not an issue with this type of setup. I've run a traditional A-frame here, but now, rather than guy out at the corner of the tarp, I'm going to guy out 1 loop in towards the center. Here's my guy line, and I want to make sure that my tarp is well centered over the hammock because it's exactly the right size to cover the hammock with this setup. But if you get off a little bit at one end or the other, your hammock is actually going to stick out from the tarp a little bit. So I'm going to take that first loop in from the corner and I'm going to guy that out. And I'm going to go at a pretty severe angle away. Here I'm going to go that way, there I'll go out that way, and then I'll dress it out when I need to later on. This is where the variation is going to pay off. I'm going to create doors using these flaps. I want to come down one tie-off point. I can leave the bottom corners there. That's all right. They're going to flap around a little bit. It'll be okay. I can toggle through those, or I can tie it off if I want to. I'm going to use a toggle in this case. And now we'll toggle off the other side. You can see, as I was describing before, the hammock with this setup will come outside of the tarp a slight bit, but it's pretty well protected here. It should do okay. I may get some water in there, but this is a lot better than having it blow in on me. Now I'll dress out those guide points so my tarp is nice and taut, and that rain will just shed right off of it. Pretty much all set here. I could undo the toggles and open up the doors and then retoggle them from the inside, but normally I just crawl underneath and get in. Here I am, nice and cozy inside of my modified A-frame. You can see behind me there that it's toggled off well. Still getting quite a bit of wind in underneath, but that doesn't bother me. It's that rain I want to keep away. It's Joe Bassett for Valiant Outfitters. Thanks for joining me for another Wilderness Wednesday. If you found this helpful, found this useful, please hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. Hey, even if it's going to be inclement weather, you can still be outside and have a good time. It's all just about being out there and letting the chaos of nature soothe your soul. We'll see you back for another Wilderness Wednesday.